In the spirit of crazy New Jersey weather, it has gone from being a very cold 50-degree spring to a ridiculously sweaty 90 degrees overnight. Therefore, I'm using my fan in this video not to be sassy, but honestly to prevent a sweat mustache. So that's why this is here. No worries. Hi guys, my name is Lazy, a speaker with some fat hips, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is a good video to do because I think that I've been buying too much makeup lately, so a video like this is needed. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about makeup products that I have talked myself out of buying, how I feel about having talked myself out of them, any regrets I might have, any, kind of reeling myself back into reality here a little bit because like I said, I feel like it can seem like I shop a lot, which is very true. And, sometimes I need to remind myself to not buy everything. Also, I think this is a little different from an anti-haul in that often in an anti-haul, you pretty much see things and decide to anti-haul things you would have no interest in to begin with. These are things I genuinely want and have talked myself, as the name suggests, out of buying for whatever reason. This video is also rather awesome because it is a collab with Paulina Beauty here on YouTube. Paulina has such a great YouTube channel. For one, her makeup is absolutely amazing. She takes colorful makeup to a new level, and if you want to learn how to put colorful makeup on your face, she does a lot of tutorials, she does a lot of reviews, she does a lot of like 3 looks, 1 palette kind of things. Oh my gosh, and the other thing that I really love about Paulina is that she's a little bit feisty and she's going to tell you what she thinks. So if she loves a product, she's going to let you know, and if she thinks the product's shit, she's going to let you know. So I'm so happy that Paulina asked me to do this collab. I will of course link her channel and her video down below. Make sure to go check her out. You're going to love her. Thank you again, Paulina, for wanting to collab with me. And I also think it's appropriate because Paulina also is a makeup lover, has a lot of makeup, and has recently talked about the fact that she's feeling a little bit overwhelmed as well. So like I said, this is just a good reality check, I think, for a lot of us. So let's talk about some products that I want to talk myself out of buying. If you see me looking down, it's because I have the almighty YouTube journal here. I think it's important to start with an item that I talked myself out of and then spontaneously bought, and I have some feelings about it. This is the Smashbox X Vlada highlighter collab. I actually bought all 3 of the highlighters and a couple of the metallic lips. And this was literally the item that had inspired this list to begin with. I thought that there was no way that these highlighters could be worth the money. I thought that you're just paying for the packaging, that they're probably not that spectacular, that you probably have 1,000,001 highlighters already like this in your collection. All of those things are true. I do feel like I have other highlighters comparable to this in my collection. I don't think it's anything, revolutionarily different or exciting. I do think you're paying for the packaging. And I kind of bought it in a moment of I won't say weakness because, I have autonomy of my own purchases. I will say I just wasn't thinking, and they were available at Ulta during the time where you could get 20% off, and I wanted to get them. Do I horribly regret buying them to the point where I want to return them or get rid of them? No, I do think they're pretty. I'm going to use them. I've been layering them. I think they're nice. Am I glad I didn't pay full price for them? Absolutely. And I just, it's one of those instances where I wish I would have gone with my gut. I wish that I would have waited for reviews. I just, because all around, they're not that spectacular. They're kind of chunky. They take up a lot of room in my collection. I could have lived without them. Are they gorgeous? Yes. Did I need them? No. So that's why I wanted to bring them up, because they were literally the items that inspired this video, and I already fucked up and got them. Let's move on to some things that I am actually talking myself out of, because let this be a lesson to you that you really don't need to run out and grab everything. The reviews aren't that great for that highlighter. It's just not that spectacular. It's not that blinding. Moving on. The next thing, when I had to now redo this list, the real thing that inspired this list was the Marc Jacobs, I think it's called the Remarkable Bronzer. It's the one that is in that big white compact that all the beauty gurus forgot about, that is coconut scented. I wanted this bronzer the first time it came out, like a year or two ago, and I swatched it in stores and thought it was so gorgeous. And I remember my boyfriend being like, why the hell is it that expensive? Because it is like a $50 bronzer. So, one, I'm talking myself out of buying it for the price. But two, the reason why I'm really talking myself out of buying this, because do I think it's pretty and I would get a lot of use out of it? Yes. I have like never panned a bronzer before. I use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer almost every day, and I am so close to hitting pan, but I'm not quite there yet. And I also think that bronzers and contour products are not things that you need a lot of variety of. Like, you can argue that maybe you need different blushes for different undertones and different looks, same thing with highlighters. But bronzers, you really just need one that's going to work for your skin tone. Maybe a second one if you're someone who tans in the summer. For someone like me who is a ghost all year round and who has a few tried and true products that I need to get through, it's just not realistic for me to buy a luxury bronzer, especially because though you get a large amount of it and it does smell like coconut, I can't justify it being any different than some other more affordable bronzers. So, would it be nice to have? Absolutely. Am I going to buy it? No. Talking myself out of buying that one for sure. The next item on my list is something that is like a YouTube staple and that I have been talking myself out of buying for like years now. And that is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. And the reason why I'm talking myself out of buying this is because I have this kind of thing where products that I use up quickly in my collection, I don't like to spend a lot of money on because of the rate of replenishment. Does this make sense? So I'm someone who goes through a lot of setting spray. I go through a lot of like glitter glue. I go through a lot of setting powder and eyebrow pencils and things like that. So those are the things that I like to keep relatively affordable so that I can splurge on maybe things that excite me more, like eyeshadow palettes and things like that. Also, I've said it a million times, I don't think any one setting spray is any more revolutionary than any other. And I think now there are so many good options at the drugstore. And for the price, it's like, I think a $36 setting spray. No, I would go through it too quickly. And there have been times where it's on sale or it's bundled and I'm really tempted, but just, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it on principle alone that I'm not spending almost $40 on a setting spray. Nope, no way. The next thing on my list is something that's not available anymore, and it's something that I think about a lot. Like, I talked myself out of buying this, and I think I kind of almost regret talking myself out of buying this, and I want to see what you guys think about it. I talked myself out of buying the Kat Von D Serpentina palette when it was available. At the time, I wasn't that into colorful makeup, so I don't think I knew what I would have done with it. I feel like reviews were only kind of mediocre. It came with glitter, and I didn't think I would use the glitter. But to this day, I kind of kick myself that I didn't get it. And maybe not to the extent of, like, people who view Mi Vida Loca as, like, their, great love lost, greatest love. I don't know if that's an expression. Like, people think that Mi Vida Loca is, like, the one that got away, myself included. I don't view Serpentina to that extent. And even, like, I must not have wanted it so badly because every once in a while Sephora will be like, hey, we found some Serpentinas in the back. And I never got it during one of those situations either. But I don't know, I kind of feel like I probably wouldn't want the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary collection maybe as bad if I had the Serpentina palette because I really like that purple that was in it. I don't know, do you have the Serpentina palette? Do you think it's anything that I should regret not getting? Let me know. Right after that is something that actually you guys helped me talk myself out of, and that is a subscription to Boxycharm. I had said in another video like a month or two ago that I can afford Boxycharm and I wanted to do it and I wanted to do reviews on them and all these things. And then a lot of you guys were saying like it's not worth it, you're just going to end up with more stuff than what you would actually be using, or that it's not things that I'd be buying anyway. And all that's true. But the thing that really got me the most is, I don't know how to say this, but like, a lot of you guys were like, oh, it's okay if you get things that you don't want. You can always trade them on different forums. You can sell them on Poshmark. You can give them away. You can put them in giveaways. And that alone is kind of what talked me out of it because I come from a place of bad makeup addiction. And I have just now gotten my collection under control and decluttered things and given things away and donated things. And I don't want to be put in a position where I'm now stuck with a lot of products that I'm not using that I have to figure out what to do with. And I think Boxycharm is probably best for someone who doesn't have a large collection to begin with. But and also, not for nothing, but like the last 2 or 3 months have not been impressing me. So for all those reasons, I don't want to be stuck with too much stuff again. I'm talking myself out of it. Maybe in the future, if I feel like boxes are really good, I don't know. As of right now, where I stand, I have talked myself out of Boxycharm. Let me know what you think about it down below, but for now, I think it would probably do me more harm than good. This next thing that I'm including on this list is something that I feel like it's important to talk about because I think it's definitely easier to talk ourselves out of buying high-end and luxury products, but so often we'll get affordable things that we don't really get a lot of use out of for the sake of they're affordable. So that's why I wanted to include this next thing. I am including the E.l.f. Matte for Matte, I think it's Jewel palette, the newest one that's all rainbow colors that just came out. I'm including this because even though it's just $10 and it's available at Target and it wouldn't be that big of a loss if I didn't like it, I don't need it. I don't get a lot of use out of the other matte for mattes. I'm probably going to end up decluttering them. And for that reason alone, like I said, like just because it's affordable doesn't mean I need it. Is it pretty? Is it interesting? Would it be nice to have like affordable, colorful makeup? Yeah, but at the end of the day, like why do I want it? Do I want it because I have the other matte for mattes? Literally, yes, that's why I want it. So for that reason alone, I'm talking myself out of buying a $10 palette, and that might seem ridiculous, but for the amount of eyeshadow I have, I don't need one other thing. You don't need one other thing, I don't need one other thing. Talking myself out of it. Similarly to that though, I'm going to lump these next two things together. The Lorac Pro 4 and the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I am talking myself out of buying because I don't need to constantly complete my collection. I have Lorac Pro 1, 2, and 3. I have all the other like faux suede covered ABH palettes. And originally I wanted to get these just for the sake of finishing my collections, and I just think that that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit, and I need to stop doing it, and I really need to get better at not being such a completionist because I have too many neutrals palettes. And I'm not going to shit on the fact that they're neutrals palettes. I know we tend to do that sometimes in colorful makeup land because, you know, they're boring and they might not appeal to us. I get why Soft Glam and the Lorac Pro 4 are going to appeal to a lot of people. Maybe if I didn't already have more neutrals palettes, I would probably be more apt to buy Soft Glam specifically. But I know I'm not going to reach for them. I know they're going to sit in a drawer, and it doesn't matter if I complete my collection. It doesn't matter. So I'm talking myself out of buying them. I don't need them. And I could justify them with, you know, they would make really good work appropriate looks and things like that. Nope, talking myself out of it. I'm going to no longer complete my collection, especially if it's something that I wouldn't be using in the first place. No. Talking myself out of it. I want to also throw an indie thing in here as well because you guys know I'm a sucker for indie makeup, especially indie eyeshadow. And these things I'm all going to lump together is something that gets so much hype on YouTube in the indie loving community, but I've talked myself out of buying them. And that is the Melt Makeup Melt Stacks. All of them, because I probably want all of them. Just for the practicality of the shape alone, I don't think that I'm talking myself out of buying them for the shape because I know that I'd have to store them weird. I wouldn't be able to store them with the rest of my eyeshadows, and I probably wouldn't reach for them. I know they have those big palettes now, but they're just so bulky. Again, I'm not going to reach for them. And as much as I want to try a new indie brand, and I want to try an indie formula, and I want to support indie brands and all that stuff, and I want to try all the cool products that all my friends are using here on YouTube, I know that it would be a waste of my individual money in my circumstances for what I like. I know what I like. I know that I don't really tend to like single shadows too much. I know that I like palettes. I like to store palettes. I like to grab for palettes. I just am a palette kind of gal. So if Melt ever comes out with, you know, a cohesive, smaller palette than just a big magnetic one so you can throw their stacks in, I will be there that day to maybe purchase that. But for now, it pains me, but I'm talking myself out of buying anything from Melt for the time being. And then finally, I'm going to end on like a cliffhanger. I'm really on the fence about talking myself out of the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary collection. The reason I wanted this so badly, when I first saw the preview pictures of it, it wasn't even a thought in my mind. I was buying it, put the money aside, I'm ready. And now, given that so much time has passed between the tease and the release, I really feel like I'm talking myself out of it. Specifically, the eyeshadow palette and the highlighter interest me the most. But seeing swatches of the eyeshadow palette, it's not as colorful of a palette that I thought it would be. It has one of those blue-brown shift shadows that used to be so interesting, but now every palette, including Wet n Wild, has one in it. The highlighter is probably not anything revolutionary. I love the packaging, I love the artwork, I love the campaign, I love the story behind the names, I love all of it so much. I am a diehard Kat Von D fan, but it's just like, I can't do it. And I'm not someone who tends to wait for reviews. I'm not someone who tends to wait for things to come in the store so I can swatch them myself. But this is something that I think I want to, at the very least, wait to see in person or wait to see reviews of, because I'm not sold, and I want to know what you guys think about it, because a lot of you guys seem to be feeling the same way as me, but I think we all have like collective guilt about not buying a Kat Von D thing. And I think it would be good to like exercise not buying something just because it's a brand you love. Whew, this one hurts though. This one hurts to talk myself out of. So like I said, if I'm not completely sold that I'm not buying it. I'm not completely sold that I am buying it. I'm just leaving it on a cliffhanger. Let me know for sure what you think of all of these things, but specifically the Kat Von D collection. And those are all the things that I've talked myself out of buying recently. Let me know what you guys think about any of these items. Do you think that I'm on the money with any of these, or that I should have bought any of these things? Are there any things on this list that you too have talked yourself out of, or any things that I didn't mention that you feel like you've talked yourself out of? Let me know down below. Thank you again, Paulina, for wanting to do this collab with me. I'm so thankful that you asked me. I'm so thankful that we're doing this. I love your channel so much. Like I said, guys, check her out. She'll be linked down below, all that good stuff. Talk to me down below, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, thank you for hanging out with me in the 90-degree weather tonight. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.